So hi, hello and welcome to another new interesting video. I hope you all have watched the previous video and I hope you all understood the lesson. So today we have another interesting, a nice poem. I hope you really enjoy it. So before we move into our poem, I just want to know or just test your knowledge about insects. So it's just a small riddle we are going to have. So let's get started. So are you ready? Okay, so here we are. And this is our first riddle. I'm busy as can be, making honey for you and me. My bumbling cousin is very busy too, but she won't make honey to give to you. So do you know which insect it is? Okay, I think you would have guessed. So let's see the answer. Yes, it's a bumblebee. Okay. And next question. I am very strong for my size. I can lift over 50 times of my own weight. Who is it? You can just make a guess. So meanwhile, I'll reveal the answer. So the answer is ant. So I guess my ant is a little prettier. Okay. And the next question. I am named for the sound that I make. I sing to attract a female mate. So any idea which insect it is? The sound attracts a female. So this insect is known for making sound. And any idea? So here's the answer. And it's a cricket. Okay, I congratulate all those who found out the answer. So from this riddle, we came across two important insects. One was the ant. Ant is basically known for its hardworking nature. Ants work so hard. And on the other ant, it is a cricket, and this cricket is basically known for its laziness. So yes, our poem today is based on these two important characters. The characters of the poem are the ant and the cricket. So let's get into the poem. Our poem for today is The Ant and the Cricket. The characters, the important characters of this poem is a cricket, and it's a lazy creature who has to suffer for his laziness. And the other one is the ant, known for its hardworking nature. So these two are the important characters of this poem. Now the poem The Ant and the Cricket is taken from the Aesop's Fable. So what does this mean? What does a fable mean? What does Aesop's Fable mean? Let's see. So a fable is a story with animals as characters, and it conveys a moral. Every fable, if you take any fable for that matter, it normally has a moral. It gives a moral in the end. So that is about fable. Now what is Aesop? Who is this Aesop? Where did this word come from? Now Aesop Fables is a collection of fable credited to Aesop, and this person Aesop, so you can see the picture of Aesop. He is a slave and he was a storyteller, and all these fables that are being written are being attributed to Aesop. So there are many Aesop fables that you can read. So that's about Aesop fables. And so our poem that has been taken today is being extracted from one of these Aesop's fable. Let's see what each stanza tells us. Now, in this stanza, the poet tells us that cricket loved to sing. So this character, this cricket character, it loved to sing. And the poet calls him young and silly because he was singing all throughout the summer and spring without any worries about the world. He was not worried about anything, and all that he could do was only to sing. He began to complain as winter arrived, and when he found that his cupboard was empty, and when he found that he had nothing to eat, and he couldn't see any leaf or flower around, and everything was being covered with snow. And then he started crying, and he imagined of how his situation would be in the future. And finally, out of his hunger and starvation, and everything outside seemed to be so wet and cold, he had nothing to be done. But at last, he thought of an idea. He decided to go to the house of a miserly ant, and he wanted to know if he would lend him a mouthful of grain and shelter from rain. He promised the ant that he would repay, and he knew that if he didn't do so, all he could do was to die of hunger and pain. The ant tells the cricket that he is his servant and friend. But the ant tells that neither they have the habit of borrowing nor lending anything. And he asked the cricket if he did not store a single grain of food when the weather was warm. The cricket carelessly he replies that he had been singing all day and night, as his heart was light and happy, and he did not store any food for the winter. And then the ant told him to go and dance for the winter away. Thus, ending the conversation, the ant quickly closed the door and turned the poor little cricket out of the house. People call this a fable, but the poet says that he assures it's a true meaning that some crickets have 4 legs and some crickets have 2. Why does the poet say that some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2? What does it mean? The poet is comparing the lazy cricket to the 2-legged creature, that is, us human being. The poet wants to suggest that this story is not entirely a fable. Rather, it is related to the real world. Some people are careless and lazy, just like the cricket in this poem. Some humans don't plan out for the future or for the bad times. They just enjoy the present moment. The poet is thus calling such people as mindless as the cricket. A quick recap of what we had learnt in this poem. This poem is about a careless young cricket and a hardworking ant. The young cricket spent the spring and summer singing all day. When the winter came, he suddenly found that he had nothing to eat. The ground was covered with snow. There was no flowers or leaves on the trees. He wondered what would become of him. Finally, one day, the thought of starving to death drove him to beg food of the ant. He asked for shelter and for some grains. He promised to return the grains the next day. But the ant refused to give the cricket food or shelter. Then the ant asked the cricket what he had been doing in summer. The cricket replied that he had been singing all day and night. When the ant heard this, he advised the cricket to spend the winter dancing. The ant turned the cricket out of his house. So this lesson the cricket learnt holds true for us too. Let us see what are the poetic devices used in this poem. Rhyme scheme. So I've already told you what a rhyme scheme is. So just to recollect, the repetition of similar sounding words is the rhyme scheme. The ordered pattern of rhyming word at the end of a line of a poem or verse. So if you see the example of this poem, I've just taken this poem as an example, the first stanza I've taken. So if you see the ending of each line, sing rhymes to spring, home rhymes with come, found rhymes with ground, see rhymes with tree, and tree rhymes with me. So you see all the ending of each line, it is rhyming with each other or the previous lines. So now these rhyming scheme has been represented by the letters of the English alphabet. The rhyme scheme of the poem The Ant and the Cricket is, as you see, sing and spring as the same thing, AA, home and come, same sound, so BB, found, ground as the same sound, so CC, and then see, tree and me, all the three words have the same sound, so I've used the letter DDD. So it is AA, BB, CC, DDD. So the next figure of speech we are going to see is personification. Personification, we use a personification to refer human qualities given to an animal or any non-living things. So I've just taken an example from the poem. Before that, in the entire poem, the ant and the cricket is being personified as humans as they are talking and thinking like humans. So throughout the poem, the ant and the cricket is being personified. So a silly young cricket accustomed to sing. So who normally sings? We humans sing. Can a cricket sing? It's no. So here the poet is referring the cricket with a human action, with the action that we humans do. So it is an example of personification. Next, away he set off to a miserly ant. So he is throughout the poem, if you see, he is being used to refer the cricket and I is being used for the ant. Now, for what do we normally use is these pronouns? I, he, she is being referred. We use to refer the human being. Any human being we use these pronouns he, she, and I. But here in this poem, we see the poet is using he for a cricket. So it is an example of personification. The next figure of speech we are going to see is metaphor. Now this figure of speech shows a comparison between two things that are unrelated but shares common feature. Let me explain with an example from the poem. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. We normally know that crickets have 4 legs. And who is the poet referring? Some have 2. Who is the poet referring to? So it is us human. The poet is comparing the lazy crickets to the 2-legged creature, that is we human beings. So it is a comparison between two things, and so it is an example for metaphor. So the next figure of speech that we are going to see is allegory. A poem that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning or moral. So most of the fables make use of this figure of speech, as there is a moral at the end with fictional character, which can also be true for human beings. Just as we saw, the cricket character is being used to give us a moral to the human beings. So this is an example for allegory. Anaphora. Anaphora is a figure of speech where the repetition of words or of certain words or phrase. So it is a repetition of certain word or phrase. Let's see the example for it. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. So if you see here, we ants is being repeated again in the same line, we ants. Next, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold. So here you see with being repeated. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. So in the same line you can see some being repeated. So when the word is being repeated again and again, a word or a phrase, if it is repeated again in the same line, it is anaphora. Alliteration. It is a repetition of initial letter or sound. As we had seen in anaphora is repetition of same word. It is a repetition of certain word or a phrase. But here, alliteration is a repetition of initial letter or sound. Let's see with an example. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing. So if you see, the starting letter or the starting sound is S, S. So silly and sing, same letter, so it is an example of alliteration. Next, through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring. So as you see in sunny, summer and spring, the starting letters are same. Next, his cupboard was empty and winter was come. So cupboard and come has the same letter, same initial or the first letter are same. So it is an example of alliteration. You sang, sir, you say. So sang, sir and say, all the 3 words have the first letter to be the same, and so it is an example of alliteration. I hope you had enjoyed this poem. Thank you.